Hey guys, today we're going to be reviewing a profile that shows you the success and tremendous climbing you can do when you focus on a really small champion pool. So what we're going to be doing is looking at a Diamond 4 top laner who mains 2 champions, Garen and Nasus, with an overall win rate of 60% over last season. And they were in gold last season. So this is just the crazy journey you can take in one season when you keep a tight champion pool that has high success and you enjoy playing the champions. You can go from gold to diamond. So anyway, we're going to get into his profile and show not only what he did to get from gold to diamond, but also how he can go from diamond to masters, basically taking that next step. Hope you enjoyed the video. And guys, before we get into it, if you want your profile review just like the one we're about to do, check out the link in the comment section below. And also, if you're looking to understand what the paid coaching service is I talk about at the end of this video, the link is also in the YouTube description, not the comment section. Anyway, let's get into the video. So currently you are a Diamond 4 top lane main who specializes in playing Garen and Nasus, which is, firstly, congratulations on going from Gold 3 in season 2021 to Diamond 4 this season. That's really impressive, and you've done a great job there. Now, what I'm going to go through in this profile review today, Joe, is your champion pool, your laning phase, and then looking at your CS per minute. These are the 3 key areas where I see you improving in order to get you to Masters. So the first one I want to look at is your champion pool. So I can see here that out of your 300 games last season, a really good win rate, by the way, 59.4% is incredible. I can see that only about 200 of these games were played on your 2 most successful champions, and you had about 90 games, so about 33% of your ranked games last season were played on suboptimal champions. And when I mean suboptimal champions, I mean suboptimal champions for you and your goal to get to Masters. Now, it's something a lot of players suffer with, and it's sticking to a consistent strategy, or maybe you were actually just finding your strategy halfway through the season, and then the second half of the season you started just 2-tricking Garen and Nasus, and you all of a sudden started climbing. But what we need to do, particularly if you're serious about climbing to Masters, is we just need a 2-trick here. You just need to play Garen and Nasus and just focus on them, focus on mastering them, and focus on improving them, because it's so much better to be a master of 1 or 2 champions than being okay or average at 5 or 6. And it's just more effective for climbing. You clearly enjoy these champions, so it's just really a no-brainer, Joe, that if you are serious to go from Diamond 4 to Masters, that you are just playing Garen and Nasus until you get there. The second thing I want to talk about is laning phase, because I can see that your Garen has a really good laning phase here at plus 413, yet your Nasus is a little bit lower, which is a little bit concerning for me. Now, yes, Nasus is a bit of obviously a weaker early game champion than Garen, and you still do have a 62% win rate on him, which is really good over 70 games. But if I was looking at an area for where you could improve with this new champion pool of Nasus and Garen, it would be your laning phase on Nasus. So really reviewing where you're going wrong. Are you managing the wave poorly? Are you dying too early? Are you not focusing on CS? Why are you falling behind that much? So yes, Nasus is generally weaker in lane, so I would never expect this gold difference to be much higher than, let's say, plus 100 or plus 200. But it definitely shouldn't be minus 400 at 15 minutes, because that's basically like a kill and a half almost of gold that you're missing out on, or you're behind your average enemy top laner, which is quite worrying. And if you fix that, I mean, you've already got a 63% win rate with this gold deficit. Imagine if you improve this even by 100, 200, or 300 gold, that win rate and your ability to get to Masters would just become so much easier. Now, the third thing I want to talk about, and to be honest, your CS is pretty good. Like 7 CS a minute is pretty good. But when I'm looking at your kill participation, I can see that it's really low. So something I think you're struggling with is, in League of Legends, there's like 2 ways to win the game. And particularly as a top laner, you either split push or you group. So like, a good example of a grouping top laner is like Gragas, for example, or something like Malphite, right? Whereas when you're playing Garen and Nasus, generally split pushing is the better strategy, and it seems like that's what you're going with because you're only averaging about 32% kill participation. Now, yes, top is a very isolated lane, but generally, if you are a top laner who's focused on good team fighting and macro and making sure you're helping your team by being in the fight rather than split pushing, well, I'd expect this kill participation to be a bit higher. So I'm going to assume that you've chosen the path of split pushing. Now, when you've done that, that's good because it's winning you games, right? 60% win rate over 300 games is excellent. So whatever the strategy is, it's working. But again, we're looking for improvements, right? Because this has gotten you to Diamond and it will get you further, but how can we make sure it gets you to Masters? And so that's where I think your CS, there's probably a small area of improvement here where this should be up around the 8 to 8.5 CS per minute mark on your Garen and your Nasus, particularly when you're split pushing so much. So I would assume you have a couple of issues with your CS. You probably struggle with getting CS and trading against the enemy at the same time. So if you go for a trade, you might miss your catapult, for example. Second one is maybe you recall at suboptimal times, so you don't understand when to recall with wave states to optimize your CS per minute. And the third one is maybe you're just dying at really bad times. So maybe you're dying when a wave is stacked against you and it gets pushed into your turret and you miss, 10 CS in one go. So those are generally the three pitfalls I see Diamond top laners struggling with CS. And to be honest, 7 CS per minute is really good. It just could be better, and particularly with your play style of split pushing and not grouping much, that means your CS should be higher because you're spending more time in lane taking CS than, looking for kills as your primary source of income. Overall, Joe, I think you've got a really good account here, and honestly, I think once preseason's over, you've got a great chance of climbing to Masters. What I'd recommend is just 2-tricking Garen and Nasus, and if you're looking for paid coaching, you can do something which I have, which is called a monthly ranked climbing plan. And basically what that is you can either get myself or my challenger coach, Coach Saj, who runs our weekly boot camps in the Discord server, which you're a part of, to take you through monthly everything you're doing wrong to go and help you get from point A, which is Diamond 4, to Masters. So month 1, it might be looking at your Nasus laning phase. Month 2, it could be looking at your Garen wave management. Month 3, it could be this. And the idea is having a coach follow you your entire journey from Diamond 4 to Masters so that he can personalize and unblock every hurdle that is stopping you or is preventing you from climbing to that next rank. And the beauty of that is myself and my challenger coach, Coach Saj, we've done this before for dozens of Diamond players. So we know the exact problems you're facing. We know how to overcome them. We just need to instruct you on how to do it. So Joe, if you're interested in learning more about that, it is a paid service, but it's honestly worth the money. It has 100% money back guarantee. If you don't climb, you don't pay. And honestly, it's helped so many players in your position go from Diamond to Masters that it would be silly for you almost not to give it a go. So what I'm going to do is once you've watched this, please reach out to me if you are interested in learning more about that and maybe suggesting whether you're wanting myself as the coach, or you're more interested in my challenger coach because he is a higher rank than me. Let me know and we can set up a call to discuss exactly what it involves, how it would look for you, what kind of areas we'd be looking at and goals we'd be focusing on to get you to Masters. Anyway, Joe, cheers. Good luck on the Rift. I hope you've enjoyed this profile view, and please don't forget to message me once you watch this, and subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't already.